Vi Andrews and I met when I competed in the Campus Movie Festival back in 2019, my introduction to video editing. I later ended up working with her when I joined Campus Movie Fest as an intern in 2020. However, soon after we met, she began to notice certain health problems, and at almost 400 pounds, made the choice to lose the weight on her own and achieve a healthier lifestyle. When I met you in 2019, but I met you in like April, I would say. Like, it was near the
end. It was right. We met right before I started. So actually, right when I started was like, when we met, it was like the catalyst to be like, okay, well, this is where I gotta start changing. And then a couple months after that is when I actually started.
Okay, and what made you want to change at that point?
So about a year before that, so February 2018, I actually had a really big health scare. Like I was rushed to the emergency. Well, I wasn't rushed, I'm very dramatic. I took myself to the emergency room. Because for about a year and a half or so, I had my whole part of my right leg was swollen. My right foot was swollen. Like I couldn't even like fit into most of the shoes that I wore. But for a while, I was just kind of like, okay, it's just life. Let me just keep living. But it got to a point where it got painful. And so I went to the urgent care and they basically were like, how they needed to weigh me. They were like, do you know how much you weigh? I told them some number that I remember back in like college. I'd never weighed myself. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm like this amount. And we got on the scale. I was 70 pounds higher than that. So I told them my initial weight was high anyways. Mm-hmm. So I told them, I think I'm like 300 pounds. I get on the scale, I'm 363 pounds. That moment, I'm like, whoa, what is going on? And then one of the nurses sat me down. One of the nurses sat me down and
how'd you feel at that point,
the reason that your heart is swelling. When they told me the number?
Yeah.
Well, one, I was like, well, you should have known you were bigger because that initial number anyways was taken years ago and you've been in neglect. You haven't weighed yourself in a while. Another thing was like, I never, ever expected to see that number on a scale. Not even just like my own scale, but just on a scale. So yeah, I was shocked. And then for it to be like, so basically the nurse was like, the reason that your heart or your leg is swollen is because your blood isn't getting to your heart, like from your heart down to your blood vessels in your leg fast enough. And so I was like, all right. And he was basically like, you should go to the emergency room right now. So I went to the emergency room. Basically, that started a long month's journey of starting a little bit, going get testing. But the thing is that like the test didn't see anything. So I did ultrasounds, I did CAT scans, I did all the things that you could do to see what could possibly go wrong. The doctors didn't say anything, or they said that there was nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. So this was 2018. So I pretty much was like, okay, well, they're saying nothing's wrong, so nothing's wrong. Yeah. It wasn't until I got on tour with Campus Movie Fest, we were going to the different colleges and things like that, that really started to get me to want to get fit. So what happened was that like, we were going to these college campuses, and you know how Campus Movie Fest is. Yeah. You have all the equipment, we got the truck and everything. And I just realized that I wasn't keeping up. Like even doing the on-campus promoting, I would like being able to go from like a car to on campus and like do what I needed to do. I wasn't able to do my job in the best way. Yeah. And so that summer between my first semester working with Campus Movie Fest, going into my second semester, I was like, okay, well, I have 3 months. Let me just try and at least get physically fit or start getting physically fit so I can at least walk a campus without huffing and puffing. Yeah. And so that's what really started it. So I literally just started walking every day